So in this video, I'm going to discuss which is the best permanent residency. Is it the Canadian PR? Should you get this? Why is everyone getting the Canadian PR? Is this the best one in 2025? Or is it the Mexican permanent residency? I'm going to compare and contrast. I'm going to prove this to you in this video why I feel the Mexican permanent residency is the number one choice for most people in 2025. Now, before we deep dive in this exciting topic, do me a favor, check your subscription status, and if you aren't yet subscribed, make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe, because here on this channel, I will be updating you on all the latest programs, latest developments, changes, launch of new programs, new citizenship options, direct citizenship options. If you're subscribed, I promise you, you will be notified on time. It also helps this channel grow and helps me get you more valuable content. Now that out of the way, let's deep dive into these guys. Now first, let's discuss the Canadian option, the Canadian PR. What does it take? Well, it could take a lot of money to obtain it. It could take a lot of time, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, sometimes even 3 years to obtain the Canadian PR. You do need to become a tax resident in order to maintain and save the Canadian permanent residency. Not a lot of successful people have the time and the patience to wait and go through the grind and go through all the crazy due diligence and then obtain this permanent residency and then jump from one tax trap to another tax trap. There's a lot of crime, there's a lot of craziness that's happening in Canada today, and a lot of people, including a lot of Canadians, are exiting and leaving Canada. In such circumstances, think about trying to enter the country where there's extreme competition for low-level, low-wage jobs. Forget about trying to do the business. So then if you're successful outside, you're entering in the country, you're entering the tax trap, and then you're looking at paying extremely high taxes in order to fit in order to work on your Canadian option. So that's just one part of the puzzle. The second part of the puzzle is then you got to be on that permanent residency for 3 years in order to then apply for citizenship in Canada. Citizenship could take a full 1 year. And then again, you're going through a lot of scrutiny at that time. So that is what you get with the Canadian option, the Canadian PR. What do you get once you become a citizen? You get a passport. The Canadian passport is strong. It's comparable. It's not as strong as the Mexican passport, but it's still significantly strong. It does compete with the US nationality, the US passport. So is it a bad option? No, it's a decent option. The problem is you got to be a tax resident for 3 years in Canada, which could mean 50% of your earnings. And then if you're suddenly trying to exit the tax trap, then of course it's not going to be easy. They're going to scrutinize you. They're going to look at the exit procedures. So it's not an easy process. Instead, the alternative is the Mexican permanent residency or the temporary residency. The beauty of Mexico is that it does not matter whether you're getting a permanent or a temporary. If your objective is to get the Mexican nationality, the Mexican citizenship, whichever card you get does not make a lot of difference. It's a low-hanging fruit. So what are the requirements? First of all, let's compare step by step to the Canadian option in every regard. Okay, so speed, 1 day. Yes, I'm going to prove this to you. In a single day, you can get the Mexican permanent residency or the temporary residency. We do have attorneys in different parts of Mexico. Depending upon where you are landing in Mexico, this can be expedited to half an hour, 45 minutes, and you will have your card in hand. I have several interviews with my attorney in Mexico. You can check out my channel. Literally in 45 minutes, you will have your card in hand physically, not just for you, but also your family on the same spot in the office there and then. Now, the big question that everyone asks is, do you need a visa in order to get the card? It's not necessary. A lot of rookies don't know the answer, but the real answer is certain applicants do not require visa to enter Mexico in order to get the card. So yes, you can enter without a visa if you fit a certain category, but many people, of course, would need the visa in order to enter Mexico and then convert from that visa type to the residency type. So for example, converting the temporary visa into a temporary residency, converting a permanent visa into a permanent residency, the procedure remains exactly identical to obtain that visa. Step one, you have the visa. Step two, immediately you can convert this visa into a card in Mexico. You land in Mexico on the same day. We can present you to the office. So before you land, what happens is we do create your application, we do the translation, we do the submissions, we get the date for you even before you arrive. So once you land in Mexico, everything is ready and done for your appointment at the INM. Now let's discuss the tax residency. Unlike with Canada, you don't continuously have to be a tax resident of Mexico. No, once you have this thing in your back pocket, you keep it and let the time fly, right? Let the time run. And in no time, you then become eligible for your citizenship. In the final 2 years, which is between year number 3 and year number 5, you do have to physically be there, but only for 18 months, not 3 years and 5 years like Canada. That's a heavy commitment. Here with Mexico, you're talking about literally half the time. 18 months is what you would physically spend in the country, and then you can apply for your nationality. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey, I have a second passport. Can I sneak out of, of Guatemala, or let's say through Belize? That's a separate topic. We're not going to discuss that or address that. And none of this information is tax, legal, finance, or immigration advice. Once you reach us, we can have the discussion. We can connect you with the right professional, and we can get this process, the expedite process, the VIP process for you and your family immediately. Now, let's discuss what is the financial criteria to qualify for Mexico, right? So Canada, it could be up to $1 million that you invest and then somehow set this up, or go through the normal grind, find a job, go for studies and that kind of BS. With Mexico, you simply show your active income. Most of my viewers do earn this income. So if you're looking for direct permanent residency, there's some additional criteria, but the main thing is 7,000 plus per month in monthly income for the past 6 months. Or you can alternatively, it can be either or, it doesn't have to be both together. Alternatively, what you could do is show a bank balance which has the 300K plus USD sitting in your bank account. So you can use that bank balance, or you could do the monthly income, either or. You can get the permanent residency. Alternatively, you're showing more than 100K USD in your bank account, right? That's one option for the temporary. And if you don't have that bank balance, then you simply show 4,500 USD per month in monthly income for the past 6 months, and you could still qualify for the temporary residency. Then you park this in your back pocket, let time fly, and then once it's the right time, you physically move, apply for your nationality, get your citizenship, and the passport, the Mexican passport that you get, is far more powerful than the Canadian passport, because Mexico is an APEC country. Canada is not an APEC country. With APEC, you have direct expedite immigration clearance, direct business access to Australia, Chile, Peru, South Korea, Japan, Russia, and the list goes on. You don't get these features. Other passports might bluff you with the visa-free access. Mexico does have the visa-free access, but in addition to that, it has the functional access like the APEC, which makes it a powerful option. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which is the better permanent residency given the tax situation? Is it the Canadian PR, or is it the Mexican PR or TR? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.